Fall back! Retreat! Retreat!
You know, they really don't make those games like they used to.
Hey there, do you miss the old Call of Duty?
Yeah?
Do you like free games?
I mean, I guess.
Well, then I've got the perfect game for you. Ironsight. Ironsight is a first-person shooter game that captures the feel of the older Call of Duties, all with the free price tag.
So you're telling me I can get the full game experience for free?
No, silly, but you can play for hours to get the one thing. Or you could cite us $7.
So you're a typical game in 2018?
Of course. We're even in beta.
Of course you are.
So today here on That Game Review Show, I'm finally going to be living up to the joke and playing the first FPS game on the channel. However, it is unfortunately not Metroid Prime. I do accept your challenge, James. It's just on my list of games that I need to play now. This game is called Ironsight. Put simply, this game is just Call of Duty Online, the Chinese Call of Duty game, but available to the entire world. There is no story to this game. You have no reason why you should care about the fight between the factions. The game feels lacking. For me, anyway. When I think back to the games that truly made, quote, Call of Duty great, I always associate them with amazing single-player story campaigns. I think of stories like the stopping of Makarov in the Modern Warfare trilogy, or even fighting through the Cold War as Alex Mason in Black Ops, and then as David Mason, his son, in Black Ops 2. Now, were they groundbreaking, stunning, amazing new feats of storytelling that we're going to learn from generations to come? Well, no, they were action movies that you played. But if you're like me, you did get a sense of us versus them, good guys versus bad from them, and it may even have provoked you to be at least a little bit interested in history. I know I was with the Cold War aspect and everything. Like I said, that is if you were interested in it at all. I know a lot of people didn't care for the single-player experiences in games like Call of Duty, but a lot of people did, and I was one of them. Maybe I was crazy, who knows? But you're not going to find that here. You're going to find a lot of, why should you care? Who are they? And why are we fighting? While the game has no story, it does have a small bit of single-player functionality. In the same respect that EA's Battlefront did. A few missions that really don't add up to anything much more than giving you a little bit of online currency to get you started. But I'll get into that currency thing in a bit. The gameplay alone just feels great. The gameplay is fast, fluid, and at the end of the day, it's just fun. It offers a slight variety in game modes like Team Deathmatch, Search and Destroy, and ones that they like to call Secure Point and Frontline. Secure Point is simply just King of the Hill, and Frontline is this weird, like, 2-point capture system, similar to Domination, except one team defends, one team protects. It doesn't seem very fleshed out, to be perfectly honest, and I'm not quite sure how it's supposed to play. The game uses hit scans, so when using a weapon or in a gunfight at all, it's really who can click on the person faster and hold that click there. This is good for a multitude of reasons, and also bad for them, as there is no real skill of trying to track an enemy, but there is having to fight the recoil, which doesn't seem to be predictable. I've also noticed that it might be a good idea to not always aim down sights when going into a gunfight, as sometimes that extra recoil that you don't expect can end up being a problem. Ironsight also allows for the same freedom and customization that you've come to expect from other first-person shooters. Things like you can pick your primary weapon, your secondary weapon, your melee weapon, your score streaks, your perks, your everything. You can choose it all and customize it all. Some of it's earned, some of it is paid for. Now that being said, I've got to point out that I have not yet found a weapon that just strictly is the meta and melts everyone in front of you. I feel as of right now that the game is pretty well balanced in its gunplay and how the guns operate. So even if you do go out and spend a ton of money on the guns, you won't have a strict advantage. However, this does bring me to the biggest glaring problem with the game, and that is, of course, its microtransactions. And oh lordy, there are a lot of them. There really is no progression to the game besides the number next to your name, your level. That is the only thing you really get. Whereas you get maybe a couple credits, like 600, whereas it costs 20,000 or 40,000 to get a weapon. So it's really a grind fest. I'm more of the person who likes to earn my guns from playing the game and getting better, and challenges even. Heck, give me challenges that are harder, or I could pay for them like that. I'd be okay with that. But no. And you're wondering, well, what all, when you say weapons, what does that mean? Primaries? Secondaries? Grenades? And that's really it. The score streaks and the perks, those you can have for free. Yay? I personally just can't support how they want you to drop money into this game, because it's not just cosmetics, it's every weapon. It's not like just the skin for the weapon, it's every weapon. And that just doesn't ring well with me, as then if there is truly a melting weapon, if everybody can afford it at some point, and you can't because you're a new player, you're just going to get melted on, and you're not going to have any fun with the game. So I can't endorse this strictly based off of that. I don't agree with the business model. A credit to Sir Swag. He actually did the math for how much these microtransactions cost per gun, and they roughly run about 7 USD. So $7 per weapon it's a little steep. But hey, you do get a little bit of gold for daily logins and leveling up. So happy grinding if that's your thing. I personally feel that the developers over at Whipple should take into consideration maybe upping the amount of gold you get per level, because it just feels like there is no real reason to play the game other than maybe to get a gun eventually. It's fun, but it's just not rewarding. Well, if microtransactions plague the game and really just make it more of a chore to play, this will make it even worse. The map design is fucking awful. Most of the maps, in my personal opinion, feel like a congealed mess. There's really no way of knowing where the enemies are going to be coming from the minute they leave their spawn. There are too many paths and too many routes. They started with the 3-lane method, and then they started crossing it everywhere they could. As well as some of the maps really just aren't made for certain game modes. It'll spawn you off way back in a really far away corner, and the enemy team will just have it locked down permanently, and you'll just never make any progress, even if you're playing as a team. And this makes some of the losses that you can get in the game really feel unfair. The maps are overly forgettable. You'll forget what they are 30 seconds after leaving the match. The only one that I remember really well is Cloud 8, I think it's called. You will remember another map, and it's for how bad and how unfinished it is. It's called Dam. It doesn't work with any game modes that are on it. And there's a bunch of game bugs and glitches, like not being able to break certain windows, and it's just all around a bad time on that map. Personally, I fucking hated playing on that map every time it came into rotation. It's not made for the Capture the Hill game mode. It's not made for the other game modes that end up on it. It's just not good at all. It's like, how could you have made this map and been like, yeah, this is what we want? Anyway, that rant about Damn is over. Don't worry, we'll get back to the rest of the review. The developers made a very smart choice when making the game. They decided to go for performance over graphic fidelity, because the game doesn't look fantastic. It looks like an aged game, but the game actually runs on everything. The game has settings to make it run on a Samsung fridge. That's how much they've taken into consideration who's going to be playing this game. However, they went for this grand performance, but isn't very well optimized to hold a frame rate when things happen on screen, when there's multiple people, when there are grenades going off and stuff like that. Even on strong computers on lower settings, the game is going to have issues. And I'm mainly talking about with the frame rates here. I have a very powerful computer, and it even had issues running at high sometimes. It would just drop frames. As well as the game just doesn't like to work with background processes open, like Spotify or Discord's okay, but like those two just really tank the game sometimes, and it makes the experience like, well, shit. So I highly recommend a Whipple. Please optimize the game more, but you got it to run everywhere. The game is classified in beta. It says beta on the screen. So I might have to come back and take another look at this, considering things change in the future. I would recommend this game if you truly need an old school Call of Duty, more Black Ops 2-ish fix. It's not going to hurt your wallet to download it and just play it for a couple of hours and then forget about it later. But if you were looking for something impressive, something new, and something fresh to be brought to the table, unfortunately and unsurprisingly, this game is not going to deliver that for you. It depends on when you need this game. It will be there, but it's not something I can see people putting hours upon hours into unless they're already established with the Call of Duty franchise. I want to thank you guys for watching another video here on That Game Review Show. Click the logo to subscribe to our channel, and click that video over there to watch another one. Thank you guys, I've been Terrell, see you later.